So at what point do the left and the right completely wake up? Yale has now talked about they're coming up with a way to distribute mRNA through the air, i.e. a drone or a plane flying over can just spray it in the air. Are you guys okay with this? Because so far there's not a single mRNA product that's worked. Not even close. CDC, FDA, all of their own documents show it didn't work. Not to mention, mRNA is a code, right? You've heard it referred to as a software of life. So how do you know when they spray over your community what that coded mRNA that's breathing into your system is coded for? Do you have any idea? You no longer get a say-so in what you take. You guys want to talk about fascism. You want to scream Donald Trump's a fascist. It's not Donald Trump telling you that you're not going to be able to drive what you want to drive. It's not Donald Trump trying to take away your Second Amendment rights. It's not Donald Trump trying to take away your First Amendment rights. It's not Donald Trump trying to tell you that you have to comply with us or we'll shut you down. It's not Donald Trump calling for a social credit score or a medical passport to move around or do anything. It's not Donald Trump who's trying to say you're going to only be able to eat this and like it, and you're only going to be allowed to eat a certain number of calories a day and like it. It's not Donald Trump that's telling you that we're just going to pump mRNA into the atmosphere and you're no longer going to have a choice as to whether you take it or not. Which is funny because when I look at the polling data, even you people on the left that bowed and conformed don't think that it worked. So many of you have stated that you regret your decision and that you wouldn't do it again. Well, that may explain why they want to just distribute it through the air. Could you imagine if they had something and they distributed through the air and oops, they got something wrong in the chemical compound and all of a sudden you saw large swaths of the population getting severely ill and dying? Would that be your final breaking point? Would that be the straw that broke the camel's back? As we've got genetically modified mosquitoes and then all of a sudden we have diseases and viruses popping up in areas that hadn't seen shit like that in 30 plus years? But you're okay with that, right? That you no longer have a choice, that you're cool, doesn't matter what the government pumps into you. Now let me change the scenario. Let me take a Democrat out of office and put Donald Trump in office. Are you feeling the same way? If Donald Trump is in office and he claims that there's a pandemic and we're going to just spray mRNA into the air, you know, the product that didn't stop transmission, severe illness, death, actually probably made you more susceptible, according to the data, to catching said virus. If Donald Trump's in office, are you okay with that? That Donald Trump regime gets to just start pumping things in the air? Or are you going to have a problem with it? Because I bet you'll have a problem with it. And I guarantee you if they deliver it via a drone where I live, it won't fly for very long. That motherfucker better be able to fly way past my 50 cal.
I've been all over the world. I feel like I've been everywhere except Russia. And I was planning on it, and I got stopped by the U.S. government from doing it.
Oh, you were going to go?
Of course.
And what were you going to do?
Interview Putin. Why wouldn't
You
I?
had it set up?
I was working on it, and they broke into my text messages. The NSA broke into my Signal account I didn't know they could do. I'm not hiding anything, but I was definitely hiding my plan to go interview Putin just because it's an interview. I got a call from somebody in Washington. This person said, meet me Sunday morning. So I go, and this person's like, are you planning a trip to go see Putin? This was the summer before the war started. And I was like, how would you know that? I haven't told anybody. I mean, anybody. Not my brother, not my wife, nobody. How would you know that? Because NSA pulled your text with this other person you were texting. And so I was intimidated. I'm embarrassed to admit, but I was completely freaked out by it. I called the US Senator. Congress asked NSA, and NSA is like, yes, we did this, but for good reason. What would be a good reason to read my, what? But the head of NSA, it's fine. Because everyone's in on it. Republicans and Democrats are all in on it. And by it, I mean the assumption there's no privacy whatsoever, that they have a right to know everything you're saying and thinking.
That shit's scary.
And that's just not a right as far as I'm concerned. By the way, if you have no privacy, you have no freedom. Freedom is predicated on privacy. It's like none of your business.
The closeout game is the hardest game in your life. And they be like, why? And I can't say. I can't say, but I'm like, no, fam, listen, this is the hardest game you'll ever play in your life.
Shit, nah, I'll tell it. Go ahead. You gotta be the vehicle. The vehicle. You gotta be the vehicle.
No, it's real though.
No, I remember we were about to play Game 7, 2012. So we were about to play the Celtics or whatever.
Game 7.
So I'm hyped as hell. I'm like, yeah, bro, we got a Game 7. Woo out the damn. This is gonna be lit. So Eldon's like, we're gonna have to win by 15 just to win by 1. So I'm like, what you mean? He's like, bro, this is the NBA, it's entertainment. LeBron is in the Heat or waiting. Would you rather watch the Celtics or the Sixers play the Heat? I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm on the team. I wouldn't even watch the Sixers play the Heat type shit. So we get in this game, how much money the NBA is gonna lose? This, type shit. I'm like, I guess, a decent amount. It's like, would you watch that game next week if it was the Heat versus the Sixers? I'm like, nah. It's like, okay then. So that's why I'm telling you, take M's and M's from this. I'm like, what? He's like, millions of memories. Because this is entertainment.
Damn. Right now, watch this video all the way through. Share with your friends right now. This video will blow your mind.
So, Google that. Because it's the patent to control our minds using our phones and the TVs and everything.
Coming. Holy smoking Toledos.
Did you know that Moloch, the Canaanite god of sacrifice, was featured at the 1933 Chicago World's Fair? They even offered mock sacrifices to the enormous idol, just like in the ancient days. Keep in mind that this was all taking place during the Great Depression. A crowd of 125,000 people gathered to watch the performance put on by some 6,000 actors. It was called the Romance of a People, which was described as a Zionist celebration of 3,000 years of Jewish history. It took place on Soldier Field, whose seating capacity of 100,000 was exceeded by an estimated 25,000 people. The performance lasted about 90 minutes, but the Moloch scenes and set pieces seemed to have earned special attention. Just like everything else at the other World's Fair events, the structures are huge and they look like scenes from ancient Roman and Greek civilizations. This whole thing is shady, and we already know they're lying about the World's Fairs. There has to be more to this one. The statue looks to be about 30 feet tall and it spews smoke and fire from its head. I would imagine this is similar to what the ancient statues and rituals would have looked like. Whatever the case, They certainly appear to have taken this event quite seriously. It was so popular they did an encore performance a few days later. I don't know, but it seems like more than just entertainment to me. The world is full of secrets, and history is stranger than fiction. Can you help to reveal the truth?